All right, Metropolis is the next company and stock on our radar. The stock, of course, has been correcting along with the rest of the market as well, but we're focusing on the business here and looking at the outlook. We have Mr. Surendran Chemmenkotil, CEO of Metropolis, joining in. So thanks very much for being with us. Before we get down to talking your business, the recent acquisitions, etc., since the buzz in the market is all about this new strain of virus that's been discovered in China, Bat COVID as it's called, it's not impacted humans just yet. But I don't know, I mean, it's too premature a question, frankly. But, is this an absolutely new thing? I don't even know if India has testing potential, even if it is, Bat COVID or whatever it is. How would you react to the weekend news headlines around what's happening here?
Good morning, Surabhi, and good morning to all your viewers. Yeah, and I wish there is no more big virus coming on our way. I don't think we have a appetite to consume more, big pandemic anymore in this country, in this universe. So, I mean, we're also in the initial stage of hearing about this, but I think as and when most of the viruses today, we are bringing up capabilities, very fast as and when it happens, So we are keeping a very close watch on it. And as and when something like that, if at all happens, we will be ready for testing, in this country as well and for Metropolis as well.
Okay, hopefully we don't have to get to that, like you're saying, and very rightly so. So now let's talk about overall, how the whole winter season has played out. So far, Jan, Feb, the trends, what are the overall volumes looking like for you in terms of the seasonal ailment side?
In fact, Q3 is more of seasonal for us, because of the festivities and, in the onsetting of the month, on the winter, etc. Q3 is normally a low segment, quarter for in this business in diagnostic and overall healthcare, So you could see that a little bit of softness on business in Q3. But as Q4 comes in, things come back to the normal shape. And particularly on the wellness segment, a lot of activities happen and people complete their wellness checkup before the end of the year. So I think Q4 is playing out as per a normal quarter for all of us in the industry.
So can you give some idea of some numbers, given that Q4 is strong and, typically that's what happens, right? All the festivities are over, then you think about your health, whether it's the wellness checkups or in the seasonal, of course, illnesses as well. FY25 as a whole, given the strong trends in Q4, what is the kind of top-line growth that you'll probably exit this year with?
So if you look at it, YTD Q3, we have done a 12.5% growth in our revenues, and EBITDA is around 24.5%, and Q3 being relatively softer. So we expect the year to be ending in the similar trends as we have been trending in the YTD Q3.
So good morning. Good to have you with us here, Prashant, this side. The Core Diagnostic acquisition, sir, which is in place now, and with lab expansions, etc., to be completed this year. Could you give us a sense of what 26 will look like, both on a top-line growth basis and margins as well?
All right. So Core Diagnostics, the acquisition process is almost in the last final stages. Maybe 1 or 2 weeks from now, we will be completing the acquisition and getting into the integration process. So definitely before the beginning of the next year, the Core Diagnostic revenues also will be start kicking into overall Metropolis Group. So Core Diagnostics is almost is about 10% the size of the Metropolis, right? So we will definitely have an additional that much of revenue growth coming in for us because of this one acquisitions. And let me also tell you that we are in advanced stage of discussion with a few other targets whereas acquisition is concerned, particularly from the northern part of the country. So that definitely once it comes in, we will have a much better growth coming in next year. Over and above the 12-13% already playing in this year, right? That should also get carried forward next year. So you can look at the overall growth will be the current organic growth plus the revenue that Core acquisition will bring in, and also the additional acquisition that we will be getting in our fold. As it comes to margin, the Core Diagnostic is relatively on a lower single digit margin. So you can say 10% of the next year's revenue coming at a much lower margin. So maybe there will be a little bit of margin dilution because of the Core Diagnostic, but our endeavor is to make sure in the year 3, the whole Core Diagnostics comes into the overall margin levels of Metropolis. So I think the journey is going to be exciting for us in Metropolis. Yeah.
All right. Hi, Mr. Surendran. A couple of factors. You're hinting at some more inorganic growth. What would the rough ticket size be? You've given us the region, mostly in North India. Will it be in this 200, 250 crore band ticket size? And how soon do we hear about it? Maybe with your results? That's Q4 results, or do you think it'll be sometime in FY26?
So Nigel, the acquisition which is in the offing is basically bolt-on acquisitions, relatively in a smaller, not at the size of the one we have on Core Diagnostics, but it will be bolt-on acquisition. So some of these acquisition definitely we are trying to speed up and bring it up as fast as we can.
All right. So sometime in the next 2 quarters?
Well, Afkin, that's what we are all working forward to.
All right, let's talk about pricing. I think B2C prices were increased by 2 to 3% in Q3, in the recent quarter, I think so. In Q4, have you all taken any price increases? And also for package, testing, there was some pricing pressure, I believe. How is that shaping up?
So, well, see, we looked at the overall pricing strategy in the organization. It's not going to be any more across the board. You'll be able to have the capability to increase the pricing at any given point of time. We have actually split the whole market, the entire in India, the markets that we operate in 100 plus, micro markets. And we realize that in certain markets, we have the right to win and in terms of increased pricing. And some markets, we don't want to increase the price at this point of time. On the contrary, we don't want to bring down the prices to the levels of what that particular part of the market is operating. So we are looking at each of these market into different pricing plans. So there is not one pricing increase across the board anymore. That's our basic plan. And also not only the market wise, there are also certain products that are tested where we need to adjust the prices with respect to the prices available in the market. Let's say the next generation sequencing testing, right? So at those kind of testing, even in the bigger markets that we are leaders, we are adjusted the prices. So basically, certain markets we will increase the prices. The certain markets we will soften the prices. And overall basis, that could be a overall data 2-3% which is coming up from the pricing for the coming year.
Got that. Lots of new groups getting into the healthcare space, not specifically diagnostics, but the Adanis are coming in. I think the Bajaj group has announced lots of private equity action. What will this mean for diagnostics within the broader healthcare space? And I think that's something we'll have to watch out for going forward. That will, of course, have an impact on pricing as well. How much pricing is allowed to be raised going forward. Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you joining in. Good speaking with you, and we'll speak again soon.